Hello, hello, Kalu Kalay. How are we doing today? My name is Notepad Anod and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working on a game called Palinka Effect. Palinka Effect is a game I am going to be hopefully getting paid for. Let me just put that there, and we got a manly right away. Of course, we've got Vampire Communist manly. It's very important we have Vampire Communist manly here because Palinka Effect. Now, I'm going to explain this game in 3 parts because that's what you kind of got to do. Then immediately shooting the vampire, immediately shooting and gunning down. Immediately shot and killed. But let's start from the top. What is the Palinka Effect? Well, Palinka Effect is it was a thing. Let me bring up the full post. It was an old post on TG way back in yesteryear, over 12 years ago now. The basic premise is simple. What if we put the entirety of the former states of Yugoslavia in any fantasy world? Now, you may be thinking, Notepad, that doesn't make any sense. And the answer is, yeah, because this area right here, what we would consider the Balkans, has never quite been stable. Yeah, no, it's never quite been stable. And what the premise is that you insert the entirety of the former Yugoslavian nations, and you place them in any fantasy setting or any setting in general, roughly accommodating the time period, and then you play out about a century of time. 95% of the time, the setting gets infinitely worse by virtue of the Slavs showing up. That is all that occurs. Is that they're just inserted gracefully and then everything goes wrong. That is the premise of the Palinka Effect, effectively. However, the other way of wording it is that it's Eastern European Nightmare Shonen, and welcome to Shonen Serbia. next down. Some damn foolish thing in the Balkans. Yeah, I don't think people quite understand how many horrible things start in the Balkans of some variety. And even down to the fact that a lot of people call World War I just a continuation of the Balkan Wars, because nothing ever good happens to the Balkans. But yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's effectively Eastern European Shonen and Shonen Serbia. However, we're drawing from a handful of different sources here. Notably, we are driving a little bit from, of course, Hunter x Hunter. We've got a little bit of Naruto in there. We've got a little bit of Jujutsu Kaisen. So effectively, we're forming a horrifying abomination of Naruto. Good old Jujutsu Kaisen, Jujutsu Kaisen, and of course Hunter x Hunter. Now, there's a couple other things that we're adding into this. Most accurately, we're going to be adding in Eastern European misery. Eastern European misery into the mix. So all of these 4 things combined together will form, of course, the most harmonious union available. Because all of these things, well, they're all going to have to work with one another, whether we like it or not. And if it doesn't want to work together, we're going to have a bad time. Because we live in a comedy show, and the only answer to all of our problems is everything going horribly, horribly wrong. But, what what's the gimmick, you could say? Well, it's kind of as we say, it's this. Most notably, a few observations that were made about Naruto setting. So, if we do Naruto map, there's a few things about Naruto that's a little bit interesting. And if you know what you're looking for, you can maybe point out that there are some weird bits to this. Now, what we would like to refer to as the Hidden Leaf Village, where the central dogma of the plot takes place, it's right there in the Land of Fire. However, as you see, there are other nations, there are other things going on. The entire formation of the Hidden Leaf Village was the strongest, it would be, Senju. The entire formation of the Hidden Leaf were these two groups, clapping hands and saying, we're going to form our very own super nation, which was the Uchiha and Senju. Both of these two can roughly be described as being able to employ ultra bullshit on one another. What does that mean, Notepad? What do you mean that people can employ ultra bullshit? Both of these guys were using abilities which can roughly be classified as anime dog shit. And because both of them were using anime dog shit abilities, it was like, huh, we're hiring these ninja clans to fight with one another. So we need to keep employing the other side to beat their bullshit ability. And oh no, it turns out when the two most bullshit characters end up, factions end up teaming up together to form the ultimate bullshit alliance, turns out everyone else needs to do that. Now, this leads to a very interesting situation, which is the Chunin exams. Now, for those who watched Naruto at all, you might remember the Chunin exams as like one of the very first, like, tournament arcs. It was everyone taking the exams because we all want to be cool ninjas. We want to be Chunin. We want to be above the normal. Generally speaking, a lot of the characters are above normal. However, there's a few things you might notice. Notably, there's an old guy there. There's a lot of the guys who look older. And a lot of these guys look like they're not exactly, young. One of the things with the Chunin exams, which is a very interesting side note, it's not elaborated on very much, or really at all in some of the setting, is the idea that, generally speaking, not many people actually take the Chunin exams. And when you see a kid in there, when you see that 14-year-old, 13, 14-year-old kid taking it, that's only from the really good nations. Most of the other participants in the actual quote-unquote tournament arc in the Chunin exams are adults from other villages, but they're from quote-unquote irrelevant villages. The best way to think about it is we fucking, in a world where America can win the Olympics by sending a 14-year-old child, Chad has sent their one guy who's trained most of his natural adult life for this situation. And he's still going to get mogged. Because that's the weird note with these, is that a lot of the other smaller villages in Naruto don't actually have real ninjas. They don't show up all that often. They kind of, how do I want to word this? They ain't really there. So you have guys like this, guys of like in their 40s and 40s taking the fucking Chunin exam because no shit, you need to, because you work a 9 to 5 in between being a ninja. Do they elaborate on this? Do they talk about this situation at all? No, they don't. Because that's not the point of the series. It was just a little weird, odd side. It's effectively a side note. That's the best way to word it. It is effectively a side note that a vast majority of the people actually taking the Chunin exams are not actually kids. They're like grown-ass adults who just get mogged because all the kids in the setting are... Everyone we see from the Hidden Leaf Village is bullshit. I want you to remember that. They are bullshit. Every single one of them. Like, oh man, Naruto's got like 10 billion like bullshit advantages. Sasuke's got 10 billion bullshit advantages. All of these guys got 10 billion bullshit advantages. Normal guys don't get that. You're a shit ninja. Yes, they do eugenics. Frequently. Like, yeah, that's the thing. Like, frequently there are like eugenics because you have nations who can afford to do eugenics. That's the best way to think about it, is like you have nations who can afford to do eugenics. And you have nations who cannot afford to do eugenics and don't actually make a lot of money. Like one of the things is if we look at like the various ninja villages, like there are a lot of ninja villages, but they're not huge. Like none of them are really big. And then you have things like Hoshigakure where they have rock cancer. That's where they get their magic. That's where they get chakra fucking rock cancer. It's like, oh, like anything that is not part of the 5 great shinobi countries. Anyone who is not part of those is effectively a secondary character. That is an important thing to understand. There are 5 nations. There are 5 villages which matter. Everyone else is effectively an irrelevant character in the grand scheme of things. But why? Why is that the case? And the answer is, like, why are they bullshit? And because they're just not very important. Like, that's the secret. They're just not very important, and they don't have as many bullshit powers as everyone else. And that's the secret. Like, you are effectively, in the grand scheme of things, like, just not as important. And that's half the... I wouldn't say half the joke, but, like, half the problems of the setting is, like, there are a bunch of nations who are just kind of irrelevant. Now, I'm just gonna bring this up here. Where do you think, on this map, what do you know? When you're looking at this, where do you think is where all the terrorists go? There's also a whole samurai iron country with complete different power system. Yeah. Yeah, they just couldn't afford to keep it open and things like that. Because you get people, like, if I remember it, I guess it's the Hidden Mist. It's the, let me see, it's the... yeah, welcome to the Hidden Rain Village. The Hidden Rain Village is run by, effectively, the in-setting equivalent of Super Osama bin Laden. That is what who it was run by, is Super Osama bin Laden. Everyone's like, damn, who runs our nation as a fucking tyrant god? You know, Super Osama bin Laden. They're just like, yeah, we just don't give a shit. That's the secret. Like, we just don't. In a world of relevant nations, who the fuck cares about... Yeah, and it's one of those things, just in a world of relevant nations, you're not important. You are from the fucking, you know, hidden Pebble Village, and no one gives a shit about you. No one's gonna give a shit about the hidden fucking Pebble Village. No. You're poor. No one likes you. We want to hire a real ninja. That is a yeah. That is a man over there. You see that man over there? That is a 14-year-old child who is trained since he was born to inherit the power of exploding penis technique. He looks at you, does his bullshit hand signs, and blows your cock up. He's been training this forever. He knows 16 other techniques to explode all your organs. This is just what he knows. He's 14 years old. Like, that's the secret. It's just like, yeah, okay, yeah, you have a kid who's been trained since day one for this. And over there we have Joe. Joe is a 32-year-old accountant. He knows how to do ninja bullshit, but he works a 9 to 5 because ninja bullshit doesn't pay. These two are comparable. They aren't. I'd rather eat Naruto than watch Naruto. See, and then you get characters like Boruto. Everyone loves Boruto. You want to know why we love Boruto? Because Boruto is even more retarded. I want you to remember that. Boruto is even more like single cell organism to your intelligence. Like, this kid's stupid as fuck, and he has stupid clothes. He does not have the fit, as one might say. But yeah, I want you to know, this kid right here, this fucking edgelord here, has like the DNA of gods. Like, oh, that's bullshit. She has ultra bullshit powers because she's got everything her mom does. Why is that bullshit? Because her mom's got 15 other bullshit super techniques that nobody talks about. Welcome to this eugenically super pure family. Like, this is the worst thing imaginable. This is hilarious. And that's the secret, almost, is that every single character in Boruto is retarded with their power levels, but it doesn't matter. What the fuck? That's who he married? Yes, he married Hinata. Don't worry. Sakura married a terrorist. Yeah, Boruto inherited Ninja Jesus' more powerful grandfather's eye powers. So, how does the nation keep all teenagers in check when they start having god conflicts? It's like especially built for 8th grade syndrome. Well, that's the secret, Solid. Only people who get super bullshit powers get them. You're not from one of the relevant nations. You don't get that. And the only reason they're kept in check is because their parents have ultra bullshit powers. No one actually knows who Rock Lee married. We know it is someone. We do know, in fact, Rock Lee has canonically fucked. We don't know anything else outside of that. Canonically speaking, Rock Lee has had sex. With who? Who knows? Like, it's... Because, like, one of the weird things with, like Naruto world building in general, like, Naruto world building effectively has the idea of, like, you have, like, the over-government, and then you have the ninja government. Like, I want you to understand, like, this is important to understand. There are people who... Like, there's the actual leader of the Fire Nation. That's what it's called, the Fire Nation. Who just kind of like, yeah, there's ninjas. They do some bullshit. What's my super technique? Money. What do my people do? Money. I have. Yeah, like, yeah, I control. I'm gonna use my new ninjutsu. Peasant, go work ninjutsu, bitch. And that's one of the funny things. That's why in Naruto there are literal like televisions. Yeah, don't forget, Naruto has actual like televisions and technology. There's shit going on outside of the ninja shit. I want you to imagine. Just picture this real fast. You, yes, you are a normal person going about your day. You look at the newspaper. By the way, massive earthquake. Man, that sounds like it sucks. You hear a scream across, and you just see a 14-year-old child fly across the market, effectively, pursued by 15 other people, with, you know, flying with their own bullshit super techniques, and you're like, damn. What the like, they're just normal people. Like, not everyone's got ninja bullshit powers. Very few people, relatively speaking, have bullshit ninja powers. And even in other things, like, one of the ideas, like, even in, like, Jujutsu Kaisen and Hunter x Hunter technically have this. In Jujutsu Kaisen, the only sorceress society does not exist to the public eye, to most people. There are people who know about it, but not much, except when Shinjuku Arcak and Bowie Card. Well. The flexibility, most people retire desk job that are after they're done with. Yeah, it's effectively like, there comes a point where it's like, I am no longer fit to be a ninja because I'm like old. Or it's like, I am literally just getting started. You mad having ninja powers in a pinch where they just don't have the mental physical energy of that isekai rubbish. Like, legitimately, if you're like if you're 30 and you're like, there's still a strong chance you're a genin still. What does this mean? You just haven't done the Chunin exams because no one can afford to send you to take the Chunin exams because that shit's expensive. In ninja society, you're not that high ranking. But you still know what the fuck you're doing, and you might have a bullshit technique, but... Yeah, sorry, that kid over there, that 12-year-old from, like, the really rich village has the ability to, you know, transform himself into a giant frog and cast lasers from his eyes. I have beetles that eat flesh. That's my special power. Feeling like I'm a little bit outgunned here. But Jujutsu Kaisen also has that kind of like the. You have like the real government, and you have like the secret way of doing things. Even in Hunter x Hunter, you got to remember in Hunter x Hunter, very few people in the actual real government know Nen exist. Yeah, there aren't actually many people in the real actual government in Hunter x Hunter that know Nen exist. And the ones that do are either A, Nen users themselves, or are using Nen users to do something. And it's like, oh, okay. Easy enough to understand. That's kind of the idea with like kind of like Naruto lore. Is in our setting, in this setting, because we don't have a setting really, we just have some basic ideas. We're going to have our awesome landmass. This is our awesome landmass. You might have like a country here, but there's like ninja villages effectively here that may not like one another. But you may have country B over here. Country B has only 2 ninja villages. They don't like each other very much, but they really fucking hate you. A's ninja villages. Then you got C. C's got only 1 ninja village, but it's the strongest ninja village, and it hates everybody. And then you have D-Land. D-Land is actually 8 different micronations that all hate one another and loathe and want to kill one another, filled with their own bullshit ninja villages that are all significantly weaker than everyone else's. You're here. You're in Eastern Europe. You are not playing Naruto. You are playing the people from the Hidden Rain Village. You are from the Hidden Bongo Village. Go get them, kids. I mean, most nations have drafts over it. An exchange government pays for it. Yeah, imagine, like, yeah, I've got, like, my super cool technique, and I'm just gonna get mogged because, like, yeah, that, you know, yeah, that's kind of the idea, is being like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from the Flute Village. Like, you are just not gonna do better. I'm sorry, dude. You are fucked. Your bloodline is not, like, fucking perfect. Your eye color is not A10. You will not see Agartha. Like, you're not gonna make it. And, like, imagine. And that's what we're working with a little bit. Now, we've got the name. Why didn't Nero convince most governments to give special privileges to hunters? That's one of those weird things, is like, Nero convinced a bunch of people who did know, but like, it's kind of like, the best way to think about it is, imagine if Joe Biden knew that there were wizards. Yeah, imagine Joe Biden knew there were wizards, but the Senate and Congress didn't. Like, we don't know wizards exist. Like, yeah, Joe fucking Biden does. You know, the president knows, but no one else knows. That's kind of the situation there, is like, yeah, we can convince the government, we can convince the government here, like, most of the actual people in government don't know, but, like, people in power know. As we know, Joe Biden knows the wizards are real. That's a good way of thinking about it. It's just like, Biden has no power, though. The thing is, it would be, there are people who can make calls really high up in the government, who can influence things and make things go through. It's kind of like the idea of how you can get, like, fun fact about US political doctrine. Anytime you get curious of how, you know, there's a weird bill that gets pushed through called, like, the Farming Equity Act or something, and then you realize, like, 5 months later that the Farming Equity Act allowed the US government to invade Guatemala or something. Because what happens is people sneak shit into all these different bills. It would be effectively like that. It would be like, hey, it's the Cultural Protection Act, and we're gonna donate $50 billion to a department that's another department, that is another department, that is another department. And then suddenly Polish people get paid money to die on the front lines of fucking wizard war or something. Like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. And be like, yeah, I know. That's the funny part. But yeah, that's the basic premise. It's Shonen Serbia. Now we've got all of this. Now, one of the other ideas is that we've got the name of our ninja, our sorcerer, our nen users. We've got the name. They're gonna be called hexers. Where did a hexer come from? It's another name for a witcher, because I couldn't use the term witcher, so I didn't. Yeah, hexer was used as a translation for witcher. For a while it was Vedma, or Vedic, I believe would be the term. There was a couple names that I was debating, but I think hexer works pretty well. Got a good name to it. And the basic power system is Nen. What is Nen? Well, basic concept of Nen. I'm going to give you all the basic rundown of how Hunter x Hunter Nen works. Yes, you have aura inside of your body. Everyone has aura. It's your burning spirit. It's your ability to do things. You don't have any aura, you fucking die. You expend too much aura, you fucking die. Some people can pretty much explode the energy outside of them and manipulate it. Welcome to being a Nen user. When you unlock this ability, you do a thing to figure out what you can actually do. Hey, you're an enhancement Nen user. Effectively, you can redirect your aura into your arms, your legs, your eyes, anything, and do things better. I can lift, normally I cannot lift a car. With Nen, I can lift a car over my head. That's enhancement. You're enhancing your body. Transmutation. I'm going to turn the mystical aura around me into something else. I'm going to change my aura to make me invisible. I'm going to be changing my aura to create lightning powers that I can, use to defend myself. Ooh, conjuration. I am using my own personal aura to create something out of nothing. Manipulation. I am going to fuck with your head using my ninja, my super cool bullshit power. I am controlling other things. I am controlling entities. I am controlling you. I am using my ways to manipulate you. This could be sensory, this could be physical, this could be a lot of things. And in a mission, I'm going to take a chunk of my power, shape it into something, and usually throw it at you. Congratulations, you have summarized the vast majority of Nen. Certain characters... Here. Certain characters... Said certain characters... Ungroup you. Have specialization powers. What does the specialization power really mean? Specialization doesn't fall under any of these things. You've got some horse shit ability that no one quite understands. That's the secret. That's what you have. You have the power of bullshit. But in fact, Gon, the main character of Hunter x Hunter, does not technically have a special ability. He's just an enhancer. I think he gets something similar to it later on, but that's a completely different story. It's called Aura, brah. Have Aura? Yeah, to give you an idea, Hisoka, let me bring up Hisoka real fast, because Hisoka is, if I remember correctly, in a bitter? What is he? I'm trying to remember what it's transmutation. So, he's got transmutation. What's he changing the quality of his aura to be? It's almost like it has the quality of gum and rubber. That's all transmutation is. Yep. And now, mind you, with Nen, you can get really stupid with like things like this. Because technically, if you are one thing, that means you're just less adaptable at other things, like you're just less good at it. But you can still do things with it. Unless you're him, which he gets a bunch of other bullshit going on with it. It's very confusing. But yeah, that's kind of the, Now, there's a couple things with this. On Hisoka personality Nen correlation to quote effectively. Now, one thing about that, Simbers, I was thinking about that because it's kind of the idea is like, does the system facilitate shonen bullshit fights? That was my main goal with this. Going into 80s, 90s tech, probably a bit anachronistic. What does that mean? In Naruto, in good old Naruto, there is a television. Every single thing in Naruto is facilitating the concept of ninja bullshit. We don't have planes because we have ninjas for that. We have radios because radios are cool for ninja bullshit. Anytime you have something that could be used for ninja bullshit, it's fine. It cannot be used for ninja bullshit, it ain't worth talking about. That's kind of the idea there. That's why no one has cars, because that doesn't facilitate the ninja dream as much. Now, what I was thinking about doing is, oh man, well I don't have my bullshit. Well, life finds a way. Emperor time is retarded bullshit. I guess the best way to understand what this is, the best way to think about this in with a Hunter x Hunter's logic is that you can be really good at conjuration. You can be really, like, that could be your thing. You're just less efficient at doing other things. A transmuter is going to be less efficient at doing conjuration. An enhancer is going to be less efficient at doing conjuration. That's just not your thing. To use a sports analogy, basketball players are really strong. They're really strong and really fast. I don't want a basketball player playing baseball. They're the same thing, right? They're both sports, but they're very different. That's kind of the idea. It's the same idea that's just being applied very differently. And then you get characters who kind of have hard limits, who are just better at things, and you get stronger, and who aren't getting stronger. It's a lot of things going on there. If we assume everyone is at the same power level of just same experience, same everything, that would be things would be a little bit different. But yeah, Rock Lee used to mitigate his disadvantage by maxing his reflexes and physical strength, the issues that worked up until he physically could not touch a person that didn't even know how to move a single step. Now, one of the I do have an idea for Rock Lee's, is, you know, I'm kind of like getting rid of special. I kind of have the idea that in our fictional Nen chart, because it's not going to be directly Nen, we're going to play around with this a little bit. We're going to be thinking about it, because this is going to be one of those games. I was going to replace special with the concept of empty, which is your ability to just nullify your own power level bullshit. But I want you to think about this in a world where everyone's relying on their magic bullshit. You have the ability to just go sicko mode without it. You want to use it for stealth? Cool. You want to just rock Lee max? Yeah, you can rock Lee. That's kind of the idea. Is like playing Rock Lee in this game should feel just as rewarding as playing someone with a lot of bullshit powers. The Warhammer blanks. To a degree, yeah. It's... You can't do magic, but you aren't affected by magic. That's kind of the idea I have for empties, is the concept of, if everything else is about manipulating your aura, they are all about nullifying their own. Everyone wants to go to 100%, you want to go to 0% because no one's going to expect you to do that. And everyone's going to be very confused by that. That would make Conjurers pretty strong then. Conjurers are pretty strong. The problem with Conjurers, the issue with Conjurers in general, is that they do not have direct protection. It's kind of the idea of, like, I can summon a bunch of walls around me to protect me. However, if someone can break through those walls, I'm fucked. If someone can get past my walls, I'm fucked. If anyone can get around the walls or just hit me indirectly, I'm fucked. That's the issue with being a conjurer. Is that you have to create something, you have to outthink a conjurer just as much as a conjurer's got to outthink you. What is this? This is our Serbian shonen bullshit. I said no bitch power is weird. They didn't literally a wrench in the game's setting cogs. It's one of the big ideas is me canceling. I don't have an ability. You don't have an ability. Is very important. Is kind of a catch-22. Yeah, we are negating each other's power. However, I have negated your power. I have negated my own power. Ha ha ha. Now none of us. Now it's come down to pure skill, and you just bring out your Makarov. Because remember, we're dealing with 80s to 90s tech. One of the things I was going to have in our Serbian nightmare was the idea that normal people have been advancing way faster in certain respects. Yeah, it's not a hidden fact that hexers exist. People know that they exist. They know that they are an issue. We can't fight them normally, so we've been advancing. You want to know how you kill someone with a bullshit superpower? You shoot them. Yeah, use your super cool bullshit technique when I shoot you in the back when you're not expecting it. Oh yeah, no, you can totally, it's one of those things like when you're fully powered up and you're ready to fucking go, you can tank a bullet pretty easily. You could tank a lot of things pretty easily. And that's fine. So we just don't fight you unprepared. We fight you when you're not prepared, when you're draining yourself to protect yourself. We can win the attrition war. You can't. But on the other hand, again, people advance things out of necessity. One of the ideas is that most, like a normal basic farmer, effectively, has got, like, a Mosin. Like, that's his gun of choice. He's got a Mosin and, like, a cavalry saber. Like, that is, like, the way he approaches problems. Like... To you, a hexer, he is a non-threat. If you know what to prepare for, he is a non-threat. He knows he cannot defeat you. However, you are just standing there in an open field and he shoots you in the back when you are completely not prepared. That's pretty bad. Nothing's up. If you've been drained with an empty, both you and him don't have any bullshit power. Suddenly a gun's pretty dangerous. Let's see, I've rewatched Last Era and low-key love the chi blocking as a martial art. It's a firebender. If you are a non-bender, how chi block, you basically cannot fight back. Yeah, now you're kind of seeing the idea here is it's like, yeah, an actual really accomplished sniper is pretty fucking dangerous. On the other hand, if you know there's a sniper out there, you just go full defense. You go full defense, and yeah, you can tank a sniper shot. You take a sniper shot, yeah, a fucking bullet goes in your shoulder. It doesn't fucking matter because you've got that aura in there. However, it's the best way to think about that, of how you would beat a sniper, is you effectively just tense your muscle. Just tense it. And now hold that. And think about holding that for hours. Hours on end, and the second you ease it down, they can take a pot shot at you. So you gotta keep tensed. Something's out there. Everyone's worried. You're worried, oh god. Now mind you, oh hey, I'm a conjurer, and fucking rat no jutsu, I'm gonna send out my 1,000 rats and find you and eat you alive. Yeah, okay, that's your bullshit superpower. The further away Nen travels from the body, the weaker it gets. That's why it's not necessarily, we're not basing it necessarily entirely off of Nen. And one of the things that we were talking about is the idea of the focus / familiar. Yeah, my notes here are a little bit of a clusterfuck. But it's kind of the idea. What I was thinking about is you have a number of different like foci, if that makes sense. Kind of the initial ones were things like a wand, like a kind of like an implement, we'll call it. Like an object boosts your ability. Now, it's kind of the idea of, with an implement, you have a sword, you have a charm on you, you have something on you that you have to have on you to really do the best you can. You don't have that, you don't have your focus, that's going to be bad for you. On the other hand, you're going to be pretty good overall. You're going to be, me versus someone without an implement, and I have an implement, I'm going to do better than them. Problem is, it can get stolen. It can get stolen, it can get destroyed, it can be taken from me, it can be supplanted if someone's got an ability for that, something similar to that. So you want to kind of hide it, you maybe only want to bring it out when you have to, kind of a back and forth there. One of the other ideas was the idea of a familiar. And what I was thinking about doing with a familiar is pretty much like a remote cast location. I've got a fucking squirrel that is my familiar. I can put this squirrel wherever I want it to be, and I can use my abilities through it. That's kind of the idea, like, that's one of the concepts there, is we've got a familiar, we've got a focus, we've got something else that we can now direct away from. Like, okay, on the other hand, we've thrown a fucking kunai on a stick at, Mr. Snuffles the squirrel. Now Mr. Snuffles is dead and I'm in physical agony. Okay, we're gonna need a new one. Okay, we've got that. Oh, hey, I've got tattoos. As long as I'm physically okay, I'm enhanced. The second, someone breaks my tattoos, I'm fucked. Kind of the idea there is that you are constantly having to play around your own bonus/limitation. Now, all of this doesn't mean anything until we get this kind of like the very... My core idea, if I move over here, my very core idea is a mixed dice pool, somewhat inspired by the cardinal system. Now, you may know what the cardinal system is, you may not know. In its core, the cardinal system is actually from Ironclaw. Ironclaw. Now, why is that interesting? Why is that a thing? Like, it's the furry game. Look, everyone, laugh at the furry game. Now, why do I say this is an interesting thing to talk about? Let me see if I can't bring up a character. Because we can maybe get around a couple things with this, and no good characters here. Okay, everyone, we have to go to Fur Affinity. Welcome to Fur Affinity, everyone. Welcome to someone's furry OC we have to talk about. So, one of the ideas up here, this is the entire concept. You have a species and a career. These dice are going to be used for a lot of different things. You can roll your species die anytime you're clicking into that. You're rolling your career die for other things. But if we go over here, for example, hey, wait a second. Sometimes my career pops up for certain skills. Sometimes my species pops up for certain skills. Sometimes I get bonuses here. Sometimes I get some bonuses over there. I'm tapping into my abilities. I'm tapping into here. The basic premise of the cardinal system really is build mixed dice pool, roll results. Now, I think we can make something here work. I think we have something here. Because what we can do is break down the concept of powers. We can break down things like the technical different types of technically the different types of they don't talk about them very much. If I bring up the sensory type ninja in Naruto, there are the concept of sensory types. It's a type of shinobi. What does this mean? We can effectively build a career system. Like, not only what your power is, but we have the idea of, what your role is versus what your, natural affinity, natural affinities and stuff are. I'm improvising here pretty early. So it's, if you kind of see down here, what does being an emission sensory type actually entail? I detach my power from my body, and I can use it to sense people. Isn't that kind of easy for players to mix up their dice? What do you mean by that? Yeah, it's a mixed dice pool. That's the point. Unless you're worried people are going to be like pulling together at once, that could be. But the concept is, okay, playing in a mission sensory type means I'm going to be throwing out my power to detect something. I'm trying to figure out something. I want to learn more about them. On the other hand, if I were to be like in a mission like fighter, and this is again early naming schemes here, so bear with me. A fighter type is going to be fundamentally different. We have the same power base, but the way we're applying that power base is different. And this would be die 1, die 2, and maybe we can get some other die somewhere else. Like having so many possible sources where the dice come from one can easily miss or forget a die in the heat of the moment, or not. Never play a system like. Generally speaking, like it is a UI thing. That is a big thing. It is a UI thing. And Ironclad does a pretty good job of it. But it would be, we need to make it very obvious where the die are coming from and what you would be doing with that die. Is it appropriate if I want to find something out to roll my warrior die? Probably not. Yeah, in practice, not a big deal since, yeah. Ruining an anime game with that notepad's fetish. I'll have you know, Ironside, I already wrote my Monster Girl game with a mixed dice pool, so you can fuck off. Yeah, no, it's... Doing this right is a little bit easier said than done. And we've got a lot of... There's a lot of notes that go into this. And there's a lot of concepts that go into it. Which is like, alright, we need to take a step back and like, how do we break all this shit apart? And even down to things just like, you want to know why people don't, like, oh, well, Nen is so simple, why don't we see like a Hunter x Hunter system or things like that? Because Nen isn't simple. That's the secret. Nen is not simple. Nen is very simple. And that's where the complexity comes in. Because these are very open. These are very vague. These are just broad types, and they all start fracturing off of how different things work, and how different are. How do I make my ability, which gives me the property of gum and, and rubber, and how do we do that? How does Oh my rubber Nen, strike fear in the hearts of many others? This has a lot of nuance to it. The question is, how do we make this easy enough to play? That's the hard part. Yeah, again, it's very simple in theory. Always very simple in theory. Delicious coffee. Coffee. Yeah, so Playing a like a hexagon or vaguely fantasy, fantasy. So, mixed dice pool. I think so where do our dice come from? Let's just think about this right now. Where do our dice come from? First things first, we have our attributes. I'm strong, I'm smart, I'm doing all this. So these are our baseline die. EV, our kind of our baseline die for a lot of things. I want to do something fast. Cool. That's something. I want to do something, but I have to be strong to do it. That's going to be something else. Okay, that's an idea. The mission is basically make your power range. See, again, that's one of those things where it gets very complicated. Not quite. All that a mission is saying you can detach your aura. That's all that it's saying. It doesn't even need to be. It doesn't need to be attacked. It doesn't need to be anything else. And that's where that's where Nen gets really silly and really complicated. Like, yeah, you could just say, oh, it could be ranged, but it also isn't that. Your aura is over there, but I'm over here. But you see the. I think you can make an argument. Yeah, you can make an argument for Oogie Boogie. Now, Boogie Woogie is perhaps one of the most fascinating abilities in Jujutsu Kaisen. Now, what does Boogie Woogie do? Boogie Woogie does something very simple. Anytime anytime Toto claps his hand, he swaps places with someone. You could refer to him as an emitter. That's the funny thing. You could refer to him as an emitter. Because what's he doing? He's just transferring himself. Clap your hands. And all he does is swap places, along with momentum. You see, again, it's not just range. There is teleportation. Exactly. Like, you can make things very weird, and... But let's just start from the baseline. So, we got our attribute. I want to be strong, I want to be smart, I want to be all these. Like, skill list, maybe? Like a skills? Like, specific things I want to do? Like specific things I want to accomplish. Alright, that's easy enough to understand. I don't think they say what a principle belongs to, but yeah, that's... There's a lot of things... Because you gotta remember, in Hunter x Hunter, being a conjurer does not mean you can't use emission abilities. They're not as strong, but it doesn't mean you can't not use them. The very idea of this game makes my inner hate for min-maxers flare up and burn brighter than a sun. That is one thing I'm going to have to try to, we're going to be playing a very interesting game with that. But min-maxing his son. There's a dude who literally summons the sun. Yeah, you can see where things get a little bit goofy. Okay, so we've got our I'm gonna call it career for now. Effectively a broad category. Broad category, specific things I want to accomplish, which maybe leads into like maybe leads in something like village training, or even just training in general. Maybe leads into obviously it would be our type of mind you, we don't actually have a name for this yet. Again, it's not going to be Nen necessarily. We're going to change some things with it. But again, like Jujutsu Kaisen has cursed energy. Naruto has chakra. Hunter x Hunter has Nen. What do we call this? That's the question. There's probably some kind of Eastern European name we can use. I will find it at a point. Let's see. Let's see. So we've got vodka. Like, now mind you, one of the ideas is the concept of physical and mental health, which I was going to, we might even have to implement like effectively, the best way to word it would be like a mana pool. I don't know, again, we don't know what to call it, but so I'm just going to call it the mana pool as of right now. And one of the ideas would be, you want to improve the amount of mana you currently have. Yeah, that bullshit child over there who's a prodigy and has 8 gajillion power points or whatever. Yeah, cool. No, you're just gonna do, you just, right before we're about to engage in combat, pop open that flask, down that shit, go in there slightly hammered. Again, think cheeky breaky, do not think fair. In a world of bullshit anime characters, you are definitely not one. So let's think. So it would be, okay, we have our career, a basic skill system. We might be even be able to change that, like a, so attribute, an attribute, so attributes, skills, career, training, power type. That's what we'll call it for right now. What else do we have? I mean, just think about aspects of a character. Just, I don't want you thinking about anything that you can think of right this second. Assign a die to it. Thought you were working on Physical. No, Physical is done. Friends, allies, enemies. Okay, Fallout traits like a trait system. Friends, allies, enemy, kind of like a relationship system. Maybe like Cortex. Maybe what is the Palinka effect about? All you need to know is there we go. That is the best way to summarize what we have so far. Yeah, it's welcome to Serbia. However, it's right now we're on the spitballing phase. Just spitballing random shit. I guess we could do like, I'm gonna use the term bloodline, because there's not gonna be like a race or anything. I don't. There's not like, ah, man, you have like, you're a fucking elf or whatever. That's kind of the idea. Like, it's not like you have an elf. It's like, what's your bloodline? I've got this. That means because I am X, I get Y. Grudge die? What is the grudge die? What do you mean by the grudge die? Yeah, they've been trying to make Cortex work for a while. Oh, God, fucking course. It's one of the ideas that when it comes to why we refer to them as hexers, is we can also bring in what were they called? I have it in my notebook here. Hello, notebook. Kristen. Where was Vidma? There's Vedmox, and then there was Kresnik. That's not Kresnik. Kresnik's not right. No, they oppose. Yeah, there's Kresniks. Kresniks were the good one. They were almost called Kresniks, but it was a Kudlak. That was it. Kudlak. What's a Kudlak? These are fucking vile goddamn vampire creatures. They're vampire hellspawn, effectively. And it was gonna be kind of one of those like bullshit lore things of like, why do hexers exist? Why do you exist? Why do you exist? And the answer was good luck. It was effectively, there are vampire hell creatures that everyone fucking hates. You were specifically trained and specifically, you know, doing things to fight these guys. However, the Cudlac all died, and we don't know where the hell they've been for the past couple of years. One shows up every little while, and we kill it really fast. So we've been using our bullshit superpowers against one another instead of anyone else. Hmm. Mm. Mage traits can be tied into nationality. All human, but fantasy Balkans, Romanians get super angry at random people. Yeah, just like it's to give everyone like a yeah, you don't always have to fight. It's like, yeah, you don't always have to fight other human beings. There could be moments in time where you just fight a giant evil monster. Where it's just like, yeah, we're fighting an evil monster between. You know, we have to kill the super cool evil crazy monster bullshit once in a while in between, doing our real job of beating the shit out of people who live over there. Mm. 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 Honest to God, I could probably use the idea I wrote up for I could probably use some of the notes I wrote up here. I could use some of the concepts here, but we just reiterate it elsewhere. That could work, actually. Not the worst idea I've ever had. Humans are boring because they always plan the same way. Monsters are way more unpredictable. What's the line between between a human and a monster? Remember, Craven. You must remember. We are in fantasy Yugoslavia. And this is not fantasy Yugoslavia. Everything's good. This is fantasy Yugoslavia after Tito is dead. And that would be kind of the idea. It's like, I would use tactics and strategy, just like you. A real threat would do something silly, like turning into phase 2. See, that's the worst part about this, is that technically you could be fighting someone who uses tactics and strategy, and then this says, nah, fuck it, and then go phase 2. You're like, what do you mean you're going phase 2? What do you mean you have a second phase? Fuck you. It's like, god damn it. Counter argument gone. So if we look here, so at its core, we're looking at like mm, mm, Mm. Mm. Like we want a relationship system. Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's kind of the idea of like a hexer does not use a gun. That's kind of the idea. A hexer is not going to use a gun because they already have a gun. It's called shooting something with their fingers. And this was actually a discussion we had the other day, is in a setting where a lot of different characters, where a lot of people can reasonably learn magic or have access to people who can use bullshit magic, would the concept of a gun develop? It's like, and it becomes kind of a weird thing because even the invention of guns and firearms and their use and the proliferation in our world, in the real world, was kind of a combination of a fluke and a, oh hey, wait a second, like a needs for arm race as armor got better and we needed ways to puncture armor. You know, due to the value of cavalry, being able to shoot them real hard is, you know, is pretty fucking valuable. Crossbows weren't cutting it anymore. What if we could puncture through things a lot easier? Hey, what if we could do this a lot easier? And then, you know, the classic art, you know, the arquebus moved up to the musket, which the musket moved into a rifle, which the rifle moved into semi-automatics, and then automatics, and here we are with what we have so far. Like, it's really weird. Here's the thing. It's really bizarre. Yeah, gunpowder was, well, you know, yeah, exactly. Just like we were searching for immortality. Like, would you be looking for that if you know a guy who can use, you know, live forever no jutsu? Like, not really. Like, that would be kind of the weird thing. Like, in a world of magic, would you be looking for things like that? Or would you be looking for the magic potion? Yeah, and that's kind of like, it's one of those interesting ideas when it comes to like, oh, it's medieval stasis and things like that. It's just like, in Faerun, do they want gunpowder because they could hire a magician to do what, like, very advanced level gunpowder can already, you know, wouldn't be able to do for a couple, like, 100 years? Like, would you be mashing bat guano together if there's a magic snake that gives you immortality? Exactly. Like, there probably would be people, but, like, it would advance way, way, way slower. Or, like, it would just stagnate after time. And this was kind of the idea with this, is, and in a world of widely available magic, we would still be cavemen with a lot of exploding mammoths to booth, but still. That's kind of like the idea of this setting, is like there is that anachronistic flavor to things. It's like, yeah, there are people still engage in melee combat. Why do we engage in melee combat? Because having a sword is pretty fucking useful. Like, yeah, you know, being able to stab a motherfucker is pretty fucking useful, and there are lords, and there are, you know, people who, there is royalty and shit, because, well, we haven't really, the best way to think about it, as of right now, we rushed the military side of the tech tree. That's what we did. We have rushed military tech, and we have forgot everything else. And it would be kind of like, oh yeah, man, here's our, here's our, fucking, 17th century Jaegers, but they've got fucking, I'm trying to think of the name, the Mosins. They've got fucking Mosins, like, even, like, Mosins are used today, and it was even the idea of, like, technically, imagine a knight, a knight riding on a horse. Like, imagine riding on a horse, like, you are a cool knight in shining armor, and you're like, damn, that's a lot of peasants, and you bring out your Kalishnikov, like, just bring out an AK and just start shooting. Like, yeah, again, it's one of that would be kind of like one of those ideas. Just like guns were developed independently of armor almost. And like, yeah, it's useful they can go through armor, but like, yeah, guns are still reserved for, people in the military and stuff. And they don't proliferate that well. Why do we use guns? Because it turns out those fucking magic users don't like getting shot at, and we can disrupt them for a few seconds if we shoot at them enough. Like, well, it would, like, kind of like, even kind of like this idea right here. It's just like the, like, yeah, you have a knight who can just pop a pistol out, like, yeah, he's not going to be as useful in, like, actual honest-to-God combat. In a world of shonen protagonists, this is a guy fighting a completely different war. But it works really fucking well. Kind of the gun knight aesthetic. Like, there's just something completely different happening in the background that's kind of irrelevant to you. That would be the idea. It's just like, this is a thing happening back there that is completely irrelevant to you. Because you want to know what you can do? You can do melt your fucking armor to your dick no jutsu, and then it's like, oh yeah, that's not going to be really useful. On the other hand, hey, hello, fair Hexer. We need help dealing with a giant monster that wants to eat us. Hello, fair Hexer. Wouldn't say like we've hit cyber or anything like that. It would be like, again, we've rushed certain parts of the tech tree, and we've very much not hit others. Because again, this entire setting should facilitate doing shonen bullshit fights. Yeah, a gun isn't gonna do much when you can outrun bullets. When you can catch a bullet, it doesn't really matter if you can shoot how many you can shoot. The Muggles, as Harry Potter fans would call them, they've got numbers. You don't. On the other hand, why the fuck do we want to screw with the guy who can do, ninja bullshit? Yeah, that's kind of the idea. Is it's like, we don't want to fuck with the guys who have who have crazy magic bullshit going on. Why do we want to mess with them? We hire them to do things for us. So there's just like, yeah, here's our full actual war. Most of the battles are fought between hexers in the field, and we just mop up. It would almost be kind of like that Dragoon aesthetic, I guess. It would be like, kind of imagine like a Dragoon with a fucking AK. Yeah, most mortal. Yeah, Hexers win wars. Knights win. It's kind of like the idea of Hexers win battles, Knights win wars. We want to win the battle to win the war, of course, because no one wants to fight an actual Hexer. Which is going to be kind of the idea of like, yeah, Fantasy Serbia, Shonen Serbia is not having a good time. because they're just not as powerful as as the Germans or the. It'd be kind of like the idea, like, oh, no, not that. It's kind of like there's the idea of like there's the not Germany. There's like not Germany. Not Britain. Now, if we want to be really evil, what we can do is Britannia. Not Franco Britannia. Britannia. And like, yeah, in a world where these guys exist, you are not. Yeah, no, you aren't there. And it's a known thing in setting is like, yeah, you're not there. You guys have been under the fucking heel of one of the ideas. The name I have written down is the Solar Empire, which is effectively the Turks, which is effectively the Ottomans. It's like, yeah, we've been historically under the Ottomans for so long. We've been barely keeping it together. We just got out of the last war, which we didn't really win. We didn't lose, but we didn't win. It's more of a, if you can keep teleporting out of danger and purify his own genes, why would Tukenim and his sister still rule us? Why would not Tutankhamun? Because the thing is, you have to remember, no one can save you from the guy using the fuck you super technique, because they're gonna find a way to do that. Oh, you little bitch, and keep running away. You're a little bitch and keep running away. You're no king. I don't want them to be directly the Ottomans. They're going to be kind of a few different things at once. It's just like, yeah, at one point we were ruled by someone, then the Balkan War happened, and nobody won. Nobody won. The end. Oh no. There's a fight in... Uh-oh. There's a fight in my server again. Oh god. How does this keep happening? Mm-hmm. Oh lord, Caven thinks I have mods. Like, the thing is, it's not an actual shit show. No one's getting mad at one another. People are getting mad at one another. It's over conceptual things. And people get mad over conceptual ideas a lot, I've realized. So... Okay, let's do... Oh, Jesus. Hello, phone. What's poppin', phone? I was thinking about putting in Koshei because Koshei is an interesting character to put in and just not even acknowledge it. Meaning like, yeah, there is an immortal, but he's fucking insane and everyone hates him, and he's the only person who actually knows how to use this perfect immortality. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, after about the first century, yeah, you know, your body doesn't rot, but your mind does. Yeah, putting Koshei the Deathless, and just like, yeah, that's why nobody wants to do immortality stuff, because your mind's gonna rot faster than your actual body. So if we do attributes, attribute skills, I mean, we could maybe... we could kind of go with the idea from Fist of Chaos on that one. Kind of like this, just in this, your stats, your attributes are not actually rolled at all. Your attributes just form the, how much health do you have? How much bullshit energy do you have? What's your reaction? What's this? That's all that they would do. It's things you never roll for. Yeah, that would be like my thing is like, yeah, no, Koshei the Deathless is there. He's been around forever. He just lost where his phylactery is. He can't die. No one else knows where it is. Even he doesn't. And he's like, well, I'm just going to be an immortal Hexter. I've been around since the start. I am fundamentally immortal and unkillable at this point, but I am fucking crazy. I am completely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Why haven't we been completely wiped out repeatedly? Because Koshei is a literal lunatic. He is a loon, and we can't trust him. We literally cannot trust him to do anything if we're going to die. Yeah, he just, like, yeah, there's just occasional weapons of mass destruction laying around. Let's see. Skills, I think skills are pretty easy enough. I mean, if we use the skills here... let's see, we could probably, change... we can change that one pretty easily. We could rework that one. This one can go away because we have occultism. Get rid of that one. Rework some of the... Honestly, I might put in some of the idea behind I might put some of the ideas in here from Fist of Chaos with the idea of you have trades and things like that that are so open-ended that you can write whatever you want in there, but they're always going to be pretty good. They just might not never come up, really. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 If we're dealing with like careers, if we want to do very basic, like I want to be a hexer career. What would my careers be? As a cool, sorcerer bloodline person who lives in the not hidden villages, they're legally distinctly not hidden villages. What would be the various jobs that my powers could fall under? Censor's the easy one. What do censors do? Detect magic bullshit. Easy. All right, cool. We got that. That's easy to understand. Maybe like a suggestions. Well, admittedly, Baba Yaga was weird in fucking World of Darkness because she didn't just get killed by someone off screen. This is you got to remember this. In World of Darkness, Baba Yaga was one of the like founding members of the Nosferatu bloodline. She got killed by a Niktuku. Niktuku are fucking spooky. I believe she was, God, what was she? She was like 6th generation, I think. I want to say she was like 6th gen. I want to say that she was 6th generation. I don't remember. Yeah, she was killed by a Niktuku. And admittedly, that is almost every single... That is literally every instance of when a Niktuku shows up. You gotta, like, anytime a Niktuku shows up in a World of Darkness story, it is, and then a Niktuku showed up and everyone died. The end. And then a Niktuku showed up and everyone violently died. The end. Oh, I guess, all right. So, We do like types. Hi, game. Assault Ninja, Assault Medic, Intelligence, Black Ops. Notice how they don't mention, yeah, then I guess Sensor, like. The glowies have glowies. Channelers, again, channelers. We're keeping this one. We're keeping this one open because we still have these, and I don't want people getting weird. I'll be like, if I'm a channelers, I mean, I'm no. Yeah, like merge battery and healer maybe, and like, yeah, there's a couple like. That's what I was thinking, like, channeler could be, like, a healer, but also could be something else. There's a couple things that could possibly be, like, yeah, we can use support. We'll use support for right now until we get, like, a better name. Again, this is very early. Kind of like the idea of an assault is like, this is like, what's your job? Like, when people hire your group, when people hire your, I was going to call them sacred cities or something. When people actually hire your people out to do things, they're like, we need a censored 2 assaults, and we need a censored 2 assault and an intelligence guy. Like, it's almost kind of like the idea, you have to look at this as like this is on a report someone is being handed. That's something that I would be like, that's why I'm like, some of these I'm not like too, like, there's some that I'm like, That's why it's just like, yeah, it's an assault guy. Like, what do? We are hiring hexers to fucking attack people. We're not hiring you to, like that would be kind of the idea. Like, as an assault guy, like, what's your job? To kill people. We are hiring you to kill people because that's your job. Oh, do we have anything else? Yeah, no, your specific job is to be everyone else's attack dog. In a world where everyone can fight, you're the guy whose job it is to tear their fucking head off. That'd be kind of like the idea there. It's to kind of give people a better understanding of what their role is, not only in the group, but in the world. It's, congratulations, you have graduated from Hexen Academy. You are now a brand new, Slavic magic murderer. What's your, what is your designation in this world? What do people expect you to do? I'm an assault. What do? I rush at people and I try to disable them as fast as possible. Like, I rush up to you, I break both of your legs, and we get moving. What's a witch? A witch is all about using their ability. That's all they do. That is what they have been specifically trained in, their very specific bullshit ability, and very little else. Because their very specific bullshit ability is a little bit useful or does something very esoteric. Oh, hey, you can see the future. Yeah, we're gonna train you in that. Do you know how to fight? Not really. You know how to swing a punch and you know how to do all that. But you can learn to see the fucking future. Yeah, no, we're gonna train you on that pretty extensively. That's pretty useful. Like, even with, like, sensors being this, like, okay, here, give me a second, clap my hands together, and I can see, hey, there's another Hexer here hunting us. There's two more there's a group of Hexers ready to fight us. That's why it's like, okay, like, any other ideas for do it Slavic, make them sound like, again, yeah, make them sound like almost like nicknames from stalkers. It's just like a very open-ended role. Honest to God, we could probably have a when I'm writing down the job descriptions, it would probably be like, your official designation is referred to as a watchman. That's your official designation. On every piece of, like, official government documentation, you are trained as a watchman. Unofficially, you're a point man. What they call you, pointers. Why do you call it pointers? Because you're the first one getting shot usually. But you'll also live it because you're on point. Insar, fucking, like, oh, what's an intelligent, fucking rats. Nobody likes rats, but rats get the job done. Okay, I mean, career works well enough. Skills work well enough. Training is a complicated beast we're going to have to think about. Power dies, I mean, if we really want to, if we bring over our very basic little chart here, I can't believe it's not Nen chart, because that's what this is going to be. I can't believe it's not Nen. But to give you an idea, if Nen is built for manga, I want to build this for tabletop game. I guess the idea would be, like, everything starts at like, if we're working with this, it would be... If we start off at D10, that means we have D0 in its polar opposite. D8. Something like that, maybe. I mean, even if we want to, we can maybe be a little bit more. Something like that, even. Like, you've got some training in one, you've got a lot of training in your main one. Whatever your main one is, that's good. You will never be able to get with your polar opposite. An enhancer will never be able to master their nothingness. Because being an empty effectively means you drain yourself out. Enhancers are all about filling yourself. That fears the D12. D0 sucks as an idea. D0 is literally me just writing in no. You get a no. A big fat no. No. It's kind of like you get like D0 is just me saying nothing. That's all that it is. Why I'm not putting D12 in. The thing is, Jacko, the reason why I'm not putting D12 in is we need some way to advance. Is that what I would want someone to do is take this very basic chart here and say, later on in the campaign, as they get better, as they are improving themselves, this goes up to D12, they improve this up to D10, they improve this up to like D6, and they improve you up to D8. Or something like that. We need room to grow, effectively. That's why we're like, if we keep it at D10 of like as your main one, then you have room to grow. Pretty much, unless when it comes to die sizes, it's your D4, your D6. I mean, if we want to, we can do D2, D4, D6, D8, D10, D12, and then we get into like really awkward territory. Because either we can do the D14, D16, D18, D20, or we just skip these three and just say you reach D, you just go to D20 automatically, but it's a lot more expensive. Technically, this would give us a lot more room to maneuver. A lot more, and a lot more gradual pace up. Yeah, that'd be kind of the idea. Is like you have to build your way up. I'm like, yeah, you're good enough to be a D10. Like nothing can ever, none of your other abilities can ever surpass your main one. But if you hit like D14, if you hit D14 on this, that means you can improve, you know, something else to D12. But if it's D10, you can't go to D10 with anything else except that. You have room to develop. And you have room to grow. Actually, this is... function. They changed something. okay. That's the D8. What am I looking? You already made one game you can't physically play. It's like that's what I'm trying to like figure out. Like that's the D, that's K18. This K18 effectively works off the premise that so if we want to get 12, 6 plus D12 is easy enough. So if we want to get 14 off of D6, that would be 6 plus... How do you favor the 9? Because the base premise would be 1 plus 0. Don't need a D. How do we keep getting that? Actually, yes, it would be. That would create, if we do... We do that, that creates a perfect D12 with D4 plus fucked up die, so this would need to be, we do create that. That's the perfect D24, so that would need to be, this would be D15 then. I would create D15, so if I want to achieve 14, you would achieve 14, so we can't achieve a 15 easy. D16, yeah, D16 is D4. So yeah, that would be, yeah, so that would be the 16. I mean, if we're looking for 14, this won't work, but that would only generate up to 12. That favors. 0066. Still favor me. Don't think there's a way to generate a 14 reliable. Like, I mean, if we just want to achieve 14, like 14, ultimately 7 plus 7, that generates 14. 10 plus 7 generates 14. Is there a way for a D7? I mean, D7 would be, zero. God, I don't know how to generate. Like, how do you generate a D7? Because D14 do exist. They're fucked up D12s. That's all a D14 is a fucked up D12. Because here are all the die, like no, that's too much favoritism. 0, 0, 5. Can't go above 4. If we do D8, No, I don't like where this is going. Yeah, you can buy all the exotic dice for $10, but I want to make sure people can roll the dice with normal dice. That's all I want to have happen. That's as easy as that. Maybe I want to do autistic math. You ever think about that, Spartan? Maybe I want to do autistic stupid math. I mean, I already did this. That's not going to help any, but it is, because if we do 1d8 plus 1d6, you can in theory get you can get a 14 here. I mean, if we do this is going to be really stupid, but 0 0, so we do 0 0 5 5 10 10. We go the other direction. Not quite that. We're on the right track. 1D. That's how you do a D14. You're welcome, kings. You're fucking welcome. I have solved the D14 crisis. Boom. I'm a genius. Well, come on. Missing a 5. What do you mean? God damn it, missing a 5. Shit. I'm like, yeah, I did it. Don't have a 5. Why is there not a 5? What do you mean? Oh, I guess that's impossible. You can't have a 5. Ah, I was so close. I was so happy. D5 minus 1. If this works. Technically, that adds the 0 in. This is a D15. Oh, God. Oh, God. Yeah, that would add in the 0. We still achieve the results. I mean, we just do just 1, 2, 3. So we just missed the 5. Why are we missing the 5? It's because we have this. We miss one number, dude. That's what. Miss one fucking number. 0 0 with 1 1. Yeah, if we do 1D 1 1 5 5, that we end up with 2 3 4 5. We go. It becomes a D13 because we can't achieve 1. Unless 1 2 3. higher likelihood of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Why do we get that? Why do we lose 10 for some reason? Why do we lose 10? How do we lose 10? But I guess that would mean we physically can't roll. We lose 10 again. What are we doing? We're trying to find D14. We are attempting to find D14 and it's not working. Why does it favor 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is D14. We just favor 5 one time more than usual. Why? Why do we do this? Okay, you know what? Chat GPT. Hello. What combination of achieve 1, you can add a modifier to subtract 1 from any result, or have a special rule in which this is going to be retarded. This is going to be extremely retarded, and I want you to know this. 1d8 plus 1d6. Boom. Alright, we've achieved this. However, plus 1d negative 1, 0, 1. It's not consistent at all, but it is technically that, like, roll a single D14. Roll 2 2d7s. Wow, thanks, internet machine. Multiply d12 by 7 and divide by 6. Fuck it. 1d2, like, let's... Okay, 1d12 times 7. 1d12 times 7 divided by 6. We've got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They were on a 13! There's no possibility of a 13 because I'm fucking... Because 13's a prime number. God damn it. Ah! Like... This is ludicrous. This is completely bananas at this point. I am going insane. Actually, okay, I want to try something. 1D 0 0 1D 0 0 0 0 6 actually 12 6 6. I want to try something. Okay, we're gonna do something a little kooky, as one might say. So 3 3 3 6 6 9 9 9 9 9 12 12. So this would be 1 2 3 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Oh, we got so actually 1 2 3. How do you overfit? This is a pride thing at this point. I want you to know this. This is purely a pride thing. There is nothing more to this. There is nothing more like productive to this line of thought than I want to see if I fucking can. And the answer is currently shaping up to be I can't. I know this is not right. I know it's not. No, that brings it up to 18. We only want... But then you overfavor this. No, we don't want... Then we overfavor these middle ones. So maybe... I'm losing my mind. I want you all to know that. I mean, I'm fucking. That's so goddamn weird that there is not an ability to get a D14. D4 times D6 divided by 2. Okay, we're gonna try again. Let's put this one in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, we've got one D14. And a really fucked up D12. I mean, let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, in 3, maybe you do that. Might skew results to lower results, but. Nope, nope, nope. Not looking at this anymore. Excusez-moi. Oh, God. Mm-hmm. Mm. 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 How do I roll a D14? Well, here's the secret. You don't. Oh, God. 2.5 hours. I'm getting tired. Well, I'm thinking I'm going to call it here for tonight. A little bit earlier than usual. Do a D16. D16, I believe, is 8 D8s. If I remember correctly, you can do it with a D8 actually pretty easily. It's 1d8 plus 0, 0, 4, 4, 4, 4. I believe this is. There's a way to do it with this. I did it once. I know how to do it. It's a little bit good. I did the D18 did the D18 once, and it is a truly monumental what the fuck. Similar to the K18 and even the D16. D18 is actually not too difficult because K18. Yeah, the K18 is pretty easy to understand. It is 00661212 on a D6. Ay. Alright. I am going to call it here. So thank you all for watching. My name is Notepad Anon. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. Godspeed, good luck. Hope you have a nice rest of the day. I'm going to be probably working on this all weekend. I guess we should raid someone. Let's see. Who do we have to raid? Let's go Raiders. Dun, 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 dun. That's a gay fur. That's gay furry porn. That is gay furry porn on my thing. That's God bless America. See, this late at night is when we get all the weird shit. Do we have any suggestions? Let's see. Oh, it's TwitchCon. That's what my friend's at. He's at TwitchCon right now. Oh, you know what we should do? The VT is on fire though because of the Amelia Watson situation, which is really fucking funny. The Amelia Watson situation. Meat stream. The fruit drama. You got fruit, of course. Yeah, Fruit had another woman moment, and that everything collapsed. Watson exploded. Yeah, that was a fun and exciting adventure for the whole family. Let's see. I think we've raided you once before. Who are you? No, I don't. No, go away. No one likes you. Oh, that's a man. That's a man, Spartan. We hate men here. This doesn't give me my dopamine high. I'm sexist. I need my dopamine high. Nah, it doesn't look like anyone's really doing anything too exciting tonight. I don't think we will. Merryweather? Why the fuck is Merryweather? I'm forced to look at Merryweather. Day ruin.